Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take resources you send our way, dig into them, and pull out the key knowledge. Think of it as your shortcut to getting up to speed.
Exactly. We do the heavy lifting for you.
So today, we're looking at some really fundamental English vocabulary. Stuff about food and cooking.
Right. Basic, but essential.
You pointed us to a YouTube video from EnglishClass101.com, 470 English words. You'll use everyday basic vocabulary, #87. Our job today is to unpack some of these everyday words.
Yeah, go a bit beyond just the definition. Look at how they're actually used, the nuances.
Okay, let's dive in. How about we start with oils, something really basic. The video mentions vegetable oil. Pretty simple definition. Oil made from vegetables. But it also notes how people often see it as maybe healthier than butter.
Yeah, that's a common perception. The example they give is using vegetable oil instead of lard makes food taste lighter.
Right, lighter.
Yeah.
What's behind that perception, do you think?
Well, historically, there was a big push, marketing vegetable oils as better for you than animal fats like lard. Yep. And that narrative, nutritional science keeps evolving, right? But that idea has really stuck. Shows how language around food gets shaped by these bigger trends.
Makes sense. Okay, next up, sesame oil. Now this one's different.
Oh, yeah.
The video highlights its very unique flavor and how it's often used in cooking.
Definitely. The example is, sesame oil is perfect for stir-frying of meats and vegetables.
I remember the first time I actually used proper sesame oil. It was a game changer for stir fry.
Yeah.
It really does have that kick.
Exactly. That unique flavor part is key. It's not just a cooking fat, it's an ingredient in itself, adding a specific taste.
Especially in Asian cooking, as the stir-fry example suggests.
Precisely. Adds complexity that, say, vegetable oil wouldn't.
And then there's the umbrella term, cooking oil.
Right, the general one.
The video defines it as just any oil for cooking. Super useful when you don't need to be specific. Example, cooking oil is needed to prepare the food. Simple. It makes you think, though, when do you, listening, actually just say cooking oil instead of, olive oil or sunflower oil?
That's a good question. I think it often depends on context, right? If you're just listing general needs for a recipe, cooking oil works fine.
Yeah.
But if you're talking flavor profiles or maybe high heat cooking versus a salad dressing or even health aspects, you probably get more specific.
True, you wouldn't usually deep fry an extra virgin olive oil.
Exactly. Or you wouldn't want that olive oil taste in certain cakes, perhaps. So specificity matters sometimes.
Okay, moving on from oils, let's talk ingredients.
Right.
In cooking, the video says an ingredient is basically any part of a recipe, veg, meat, spice, liquid, the whole shebang.
The building blocks.
And the example sentence is, using fresh ingredients is an important part of any recipe. They emphasize fresh.
Yeah, and that's telling, isn't it? Fresh.
Yeah.
It taps into this widely held belief that the quality of your starting materials really dictates the final dish.
Definitely. A good tomato makes all the difference.
Exactly. A ripe, flavorful tomato versus a pale, watery one. No contest. Freshness usually means better taste, better texture, maybe even more nutrients.
It makes total sense. Okay, then a very specific ingredient, flour.
Ah, flour. Can't do much baking without it.
Described as a fine white powdery substance. And used for bread, cakes, scones, cookies, all the good stuff.
The foundation for so much deliciousness.
The example is basic but crucial. You need to mix the flour with water.
So fundamental, isn't it? Flour and water makes dough. That simple reaction is behind, countless food traditions globally.
It's amazing how complex things start so simply.
Absolutely.
Right, let's shift gears to the structure of the eating day. Meals. First, lunch.
The midday meal.
Yep, defined as midday, usually around 12.00 to 2.0. And the example, this is relatable, a big lunch will make you sleepy in the afternoon.
The post-lunch slump. We've all been there.
Definitely.
It's interesting how these aren't just words, they're tied to our body clocks, our culture, that sleepiness is real, physiologically.
But what counts as lunch, and when you eat it, varies so much, doesn't it?
Hugely. Across different countries, different cultures.
Okay, then we have dinner, the evening meal.
Usually the last one of the day.
The video mentions typically around 6.0 or 7.00 in the US, but adds that big caveat about cultural differences.
Which is important, yeah. Dinner time can be much later elsewhere.
The example sentence they use is, my family eats dinner together every night.
And that example highlights something else about dinner, doesn't it? The social side.
Oh, for sure.
For many people, it's not just food, it's connection time, family time. That every night suggests it's a real ritual for them, a valued tradition.
Yeah, that's a nice example. Okay, within the meal itself, appetizer,
Ah, the starter.
described as a small, snack-sized dish before the main meal, especially like in restaurants while you're waiting. The example's a classic question. Shall we order an appetizer? That little something to keep you going.
Exactly. It serves a few functions, right? Whet the appetite, maybe cleanse the palate.
Fills the time while you wait.
And fills the time, yeah. It's part of the social experience of eating out, deciding what to share, maybe.
True. And then, after the appetizer, the main event, the main
It's the
course.
star of the show, usually.
The video calls it the primary dish, often the focus. Gives examples like expensive meat or fish.
Right.
And the sample sentence. The main course is beef and vegetables. Straightforward.
It really points to how many meals, especially in sort of Western traditions, are structured hierarchically. There's a centerpiece.
Yeah, even if it's just pasta or something, it's still the main thing.
Exactly. The dish the rest of the meal revolves around.
Okay, one last term, and it's a lovely one. Home cooking.
Yes.
Defined as cooking done at home by yourself, with family, roommates, whoever, using your own recipes, maybe family recipes.
This is no.
And the example is quite touching, actually. When I travel, what I miss most is my wife's home cooking.
Aw, that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes you think, what does home cooking mean to you personally?
Because it's so much more than just making food at home, isn't it? It's tied up with comfort, nostalgia, identity. It can bring back childhood memories, family traditions. It's nurturing in a way that restaurant food, even great restaurant food, often isn't.
Yeah, that feeling of being looked after.
Precisely. And missing it when you're away.
Yeah.
That really shows its emotional weight.
So, wow, we've covered quite a range there, from specific oils like sesame,
To the general cooking oil,
essential ingredients like flour,
the rhythm of lunch and dinner.
appetizers, main courses.
And that really personal idea of home cooking.
And like that video title said, these really are core everyday English words related to food.
Absolutely. Understanding them, not just the dictionary meaning, but the context, the feeling behind them, that's key for talking about something so universal, food.
Right. So here's a final thought for you listening. Think about these words we've just discussed. Which ones pop up most in your daily life? And do you have any interesting cultural takes or personal feelings tied to words like dinner or home cooking?
Yeah, reflect on how these simple-seeming words are actually the foundation for all sorts of richer conversations about, well,